Hey, good morning. Well, got a lot to do today. As you can see here, we felled some trees, we created some slash. I guess you could say we created a mess. But that's not what we're gonna deal with today. I don't think so. Unfortunately, the tractor broke. Before we could get all these logs moved down to the log yard so that I can mill them up, the tractor broke. The joystick that you use to raise and lower the bucket and open the claw and all that, it has an anchor point that looks like it's made out of cast iron or some kind of cast metal, and it actually broke in half. And so now the joystick just flops around and I can raise and lower the bucket or the grapple, but I can't open and close it. It's just not gonna happen. I can't tilt it. It's until I get that fixed, the tractor's out of commission. So with that in mind, there's still some work we got to do, so I'm going to show you what we've done and what we're going to try to do today. Let's get to it. All right, well, this is what we've got. During the winter, right there, you might be able to see the hole through there. We had so much snow and ice buildup that it actually pushed that pipe, which is my gray water drain. And if I could zoom in, you might be able to see right there. It actually peeled back the roof, and it peeled back the sheeting underneath the roof, roofing material. And so what I've got to do is I've got to push that in. I've got to put a 2x6 behind it and screw that in place to protect that and hold it tighter. And then I've got to come down here and figure out where it broke off. And it either broke off down here or up here. I can't remember which, but if I can take this apart, move that back over there, and I may fix this down here. Once I've gotten this up here fixed, then I'm going to cut that pipe off a little bit lower. Ideally, it would be that high. We'll see if we're going to keep it that high or not, but I'm going to be putting a vent on top of there. And that's a one-way vent that will prevent the gases from the gray water drain system going back into the cabin through the P-traps. They can do that if it gets a bit of a pressure change and you get what's basically called a reverse flow. Air comes down the pipe, the gases have to come somewhere, and I think it's just heavier, colder condensed air will go down the pipe, and it'll actually push the methane gas past, at least I assume it's methane, past the P-traps, even with water in them, and we'll get that smell inside the cabin. I had to do a bunch of research. This is the solution, so we're going to try to put that in there today, get that done before we got to leave, and we're leaving today, so we got work to do. All right, I got a mission today. I have a subscriber who's in Italy, a really nice young man who has been studying forestry. And he loves these big West Coast trees we've got. And I've been telling him about this big monster Ponderosa pine that we've got on our property. And I keep saying that I'm gonna get it measured for him, and then I always forget to do it. I get up here and I get busy. So guess what, folks? We're gonna go measure that tree right now. Let's get her done. All right, now this is a big tree. May not look like it in your video, but we are going to measure the diameter at chest height. I have often thought it could be as much as 4 feet across. I don't think it's that much. I would say it's more like 3 feet across, but it is huge. So, yeah, my hand looks big, but we're gonna find out just how big this really is, folks. It's time to do it. So you measure at about 4 feet in height. So we're gonna say this is about 4 feet, and we'll double check here at the end. So we're gonna put that in. We're gonna do a little walk. Now, by the way, we are 2 feet from where I put that to where you could see it's the 2 foot mark right here. So that's, you know, not quite the center, but it's close. So it may be more than 3 feet across. So there we are at 4.5, 6 feet. Oh boy, 7, 8. This is just measuring the diameter, folks. I see 9, I see 10. I hope you're watching this, buddy. Here we go. And 11 feet, 5.5 inches exactly from one end to the other, all the way around at about chest height. So now let's do a measurement and see if that was 4 feet off the ground. All right, there's our hole that we put that in. So here we go. I need a new tape. This tape is it got lost out in the woods during an incident when I crushed a saw. I ended up finding it a year later. All right, here we go. 3 feet 6, 3 feet 8. Oh, look at that. 4 feet, 4 feet 2 inches, 4 feet 2.5 inches. That's where I measured it. So if that's the case, we're gonna do it again. That's 2.5 inches right there. So we're gonna do it exactly. That should be exactly 4 feet. Oh, that's 3'11", 1 inch up. I could make some kind of a comment that I won't make. 4 feet to my thumb. Perfect. All right, ready to get ready? Let's do it. Let's see if we let's see if it's more than 12 feet around in diameter. I got the other camera going so you can see it. I'm not running it on any kind of diagonals or any kind of thing crazy like that. We're just trying to get it as evenly around here as possible. I got 11 feet 6. So I think that's what I got before was 11.6.5, right? So we didn't gain anything dropping it 2.5 inches. That's pretty straight. So almost 12 feet in diameter. Now we could try to do this the unscientific way. Oh, get caught here. Now that's actually in circumference, not diameter. Let me correct that. So almost 12 feet in circumference. So if I guess, all right, I'm guessing 3'6", maybe 3'4" in diameter. That's a big pondo, folks. All right, I got work to do. Time to get to it. Hope you enjoyed it, buddy. You tell me whatever you can about the size of that tree, how old it is, and everything else. I'm curious. I'll have to look up the board feet in that one too while I'm at it. Now, you know, I thought one more thing I'm gonna do before I get down and I get some work done. Hang on, I'm gonna go stand behind that tree so you get an idea what you're looking at. All right, I got behind it, put my arms out like that. My wingspan is 6 feet, folks. So I don't know how much of my hands and forearms you could see, but I'm guessing not more than 2 feet's worth, if that. Now, I wasn't right up against the tree. I was about that far away, so take that for what it is. Now you have an idea of how big these things can get. That's why they're called Ponderosa Pine, by the way. The guy that named the Douglas fir named this pine tree the Ponderosa Pine because they are so ponderous, because they get so big. So here you go. That's a big tree, folks. Too big for my sawmill, but I could quarter it up. I'm not going to. That's the granddaddy of all trees here. All right, let's get to work. All right, well, we're making progress. I have to get up and drive some of those nails back into the rafters because with all of that, you know, moisture getting in there and the wood expands and then the sun comes out and dries the wood and it contracts, and this happening over and over and over again for over a year actually works the nails out. So I'm driving the nails back in I realize this whole roof probably just needs to get replaced. However, for now, I know that if I can nail everything back down at least reasonably well and get this 30-pound felt up there and then strap it down so it doesn't go anywhere, it's all gonna dry out and then it should be fine. So that's the mission. Just get this 30-pound felt up on top of there, hammer it down. And by the way, during the Great Depression, there were shacks called tar paper shacks. And those tar paper shacks are what people built and actually lived in. If they couldn't afford a house, they didn't have any work, they could throw up some, you know, some 2x4s and make a shack and then sheet it in tar paper. Well, that's what this is. So essentially, we're building a tar paper shack roof over the outhouse so that it can survive another winter. So, gotta get to it.
Yeah, maybe just does it pretty straight across here. Okay. Look at this kind of.
Good enough for government work.
We're at the outer limits of the outhouse.
Would you please go get it, honey? Love you.
Oh, it's right, okay. You got one.
Here, catch. That is so perfectly straight.
We just dropped this off the roof because it's a Ryobi and I've dropped it several times and it still works 20 years later.
Sounded like it was kind of stressing a little bit.
Huh?
Didn't sound all that powerful.
Oh, that's fine. 20 years old and it still works. And it ain't the wall. you do it? You
Yeah,
want me
let's
to put
go
a,
this way
want me
now.
to kind of do like this? Whirl of Hardy going?
There we go.
You do it? I'm gonna hold this kind of like this.
Yeah, I think I just gotta get, see, it's kind of that, if I get it going, then it's kind of, well,
You gotta. Full throttle. Full throttle. Turn my way a little bit. There you go. You got it, got it, got it. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Perfect. There you go. Look at that. Couldn't have been done
we gotta do
better.
a little,
Could have been done better myself. Alright, now I need a stapler.
just gotta go back up.
Load the stapler up.
Okay, so we're going back tar, right? So I think I
Yep.
should move the ladder over
Yep.
again. So the tar would, the ladder would have been the way of the tar.
We ain't getting everything done today that I planned, but we're gonna get this done. I'm telling you. You got that, ready? Down she goes. Third line to the edge.
It's about right then.
There's no ladder falling off.
That's what you really should do. This one is about 100 degrees, so then the tar paper will mold exactly
Yeah.
like you want it, right? I see those guys roofing in the summer, and I kind of like, gosh, you must have insulation on your knees or something, right? How do you do that?
Well, it gets that hot, I usually don't.
Yeah, most times I see them working late at night with lights or something.
I used to do construction. I know it's hard to believe watching what I'm doing here. For condo shows. And then I did, just started a business with my buddy doing renos and garage builds and stuff. You get up 100 degrees, I ain't getting on the roof.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are limits.
You need one more.
Oh, yeah,
Do
that
you
one.
need two more pieces, or just
I think we still need to do it.
is the one
We're
gonna
gonna
be
need
good?
2 more pieces.
Then we need
But
to use that
if
one.
you'll
as a-
remove that ladder, I'll need the stapler, and I'll reload, and then I'll go up and put this next one up. And then we're gonna need, I probably am gonna need to get screws. I'll have to use the 2-inch screws, whether I like it or not. Because I'm gonna need, I'll have to screw down the boards up here. I don't have enough nails.
Deck screws?
Yeah. I may need my hammer drill. It's the short, stubby looking one.
Short, stubby looking.
Yeah.
That's not a description that I understand.
Go over about, yeah, right, back. Let's see here. You got it.
Kind
Just
of
like
a wonky
an
board.
eighth of an inch. Just
There you
there.
go, right there.
I think you go right down the center, you should be hitting it.
I need to make sure I have some sort of escape route. Yeah, I think that one, please.
Catch!
Let's get that one.
That one sits. Okay. Get back.
And then we have to get that up here to me.
Let's see, take 2.
There's a ladder in my way here. Darcy, you want to go around the other side? And just kind of look and guide me into a rafter if you can, or as close as you can get if you want.
Nope, you either go to this way. Yep, keep going this way. Keep going. Okay, you're right over it. On this side, you're right. Well, the rafter's right in the middle of it.
Well, we don't have to go to every, I'm not going to every raft. We actually could shut that generator off too. It's still been running. Do everything else by the ladder. Once I get down.
Should I just take this fiberglass one down?
Oh, fuck! Just did the one thing I did not want to do, folks. Just put my foot right through the damn paper. Put a foot right through the paper, Tim. I need a piece of paper. If you can give me a nice chunk of 30-inch, about 1 foot by 1 foot, slip it underneath. All right, well, folks, we've got the outhouse about as good as we're gonna get it. It's getting late. I wanted to leave here about noon, and it's already a quarter of, so it took me a little longer than I expected to get all that done, but we got 30-pound felt on the roof, strapped down. It ain't going anywhere. The outhouse is secured for another year. Awesome, pretty happy. Didn't get everything else done. Gonna have to come back and do it another trip, so I'll bring that to you when I do. Meanwhile, I'll drop a video right here for you to check out. And while I'm at it, if you do me a favor, and it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, hit that subscribe button. It'll help me grow my channel, trying to get up to 15,000 subscribers. And I appreciate it if you do that. Thank you very much.